Welcome to Building Agentic SaaS on AWS. My name is Anthony McClure. I'm a partner solutions architect at AWS and a member of the AWS Software as a Service technical field community. If you followed our long-running show, Building SaaS on AWS, you'll find that all of those previous episodes still live here on this channel. You'd also know that we like to go deep on what it takes to build, deploy, and operate multi-tenant software in the cloud. Things like tenant isolation, data isolation, control planes, application planes, the hard technical parts. This new series, though, picks up where that one left off, at the convergence of what we're all watching and working with today. SaaS, artificial intelligence, and agents coming together. To explore this, we're bringing in the ISVs building on AWS who are living it, partners and customers who are already shipping in this new world. For this, our first episode of the series, I would like to introduce you to Amichay Even Chen and Yoni Braslaver of AWS partner Monday.com. Welcome to the show, both of you. Please introduce yourselves if you would.
Yeah. So thank you, Anthony. I'm Amichay. I'm the product group lead leading Monday Vibe in Monday.com. Happy to be here.
Welcome.
Thank you, Anthony. So I'm Yoni. I'm the group tech lead leading the technical side of Monday Vibe in Monday.com.
Excellent. Well, excellent. It's great to have both of you here with us today. Why don't we start out first and just tell our audience a little bit about Monday.com and maybe where you are in your artificial intelligence and agentic journey.
Yeah, of course. So Monday.com, I'll tell you what we did until maybe a year ago, okay? We used to be a work management platform. It means you can manage any type of project. It could be contacts, could be sales, could be marketing, could be ITSM, and it was super flexible and you can manage your work there, right? You will see, like CEOs saw in a glance, everything in their company. And when the AI shift came, we wanted to become more, and we are now shifting into AI work platform, meaning we don't want to only manage your work, we want to do the work for you. So we now offer agents, sidekicks, vibe coding, and everything on top of what we already have. So we want humans and agents and every AI tool that possible to do the work with you or for you, and not only manage it. So this is where we are today, still trying to go to most places when people need to work together and perform and work on projects or anything they want, but give them more and help them more and make them more efficient.
Amazing. And so as we were planning and talking about having this conversation together, you mentioned that you wanted to speak about Monday Vibe. Can you tell us, kind of what sparked that? From what I understand, there was an experiment that you were working on. So, what were you trying to solve and what happened when you shared that?
Yeah, so the story started a bit more than a year ago. Basically, we have Monday for NGOs. In Monday, we basically give Monday for free or with high discount to NGOs around the world. And they approach us, like we have our own department that helps them. If we can use the new vibe coding tools in order to maybe help them solve things that were a bit that they couldn't solve today with Monday. And the people who were in charge of it, they just asked me as a favor if I have an idea, if I can help them with that. And now, me and also Yoni, before that, we worked on a part of the platform where we allowed external developers to extend the platform. So they could write code in our own SDKs and APIs and deployment, and build it into Monday so we'll have new abilities. But to be honest, it was you need to learn how we worked and understand our code and our internal systems. So it was pretty hard to onboard. I basically
very developer oriented.
Yeah, very developer oriented, and you need to be both a developer and know how our system worked in order to make it work. Basically,
yes.
So Yoni's team was responsible on that, and I took all of the documentation that they wrote, I took the whole thing, copy pasted it into a vibe coding tool, and basically by force taught it how to write instead of a generic code, a generic website somewhere, wrote new features into Monday.com. So I worked with this NGO, and I helped them build a donor page that reads live data from Monday.com using our permissions, our database, everything, and shows it natively in the platform in a way that was impossible before that. And I did it as an experiment. Basically, I took a video of it, like 3 minutes looks. I had like a crazy experiment with AI. Look what we can do today. And I didn't even share it internally in Monday. I just put it on LinkedIn as a look what we can
Nice.
do today. And it blew up. So people started saying it, I got
You went
comments.
viral in your own company.
I got my phone started getting all the notification. People sent it to our CEO, telling us, "Look, Monday.com is so cutting edge. You're building the craziest things." I said, "Thank you. I have no idea what you're talking about, but it sounds exciting." So I built the first one in about 15 minutes. So I said, "Okay, so let's do more." I opened a roadmap. Every feature people were asking for Monday.com, and it was too complicated, it was too niche, like we couldn't build it. I just, one by one, I built them all, created the 2 minutes video, shared them. And eventually, like the leadership that also started to see, not only because of those videos, but generally that the world is shifting and we can do things that were impossible yesterday. They just asked,
Right.
okay, what do we need to make it real? And this is where I was, Yoni joined, because I'm like, I created a nice POC, right? But we
Yeah.
we want to create something that 100,000 people can use at the same time without it crashing, without them being AI masters or even developers. Just write in English whatever you want, which feature you can imagine, and in live, AI will write the code and edit as a native feature into Monday. And basically, Yoni and his team took this video and made it a real product that we later released to all of our customers.
Amazing. And so that's what became then Monday Vibe, correct? And
Yeah.
as far as Monday Vibe is concerned, then, what makes it, or makes this AI native app creation kind of generally different from traditional no code tools? And what does this ultimately actually do that you produced, and what makes the approach interesting?
So if it's okay, I'd like to have a short demo just so we can see
Oh,
it.
excellent. No, we love demos.
Yeah. So, okay. So this is the main page of Monday Vibe. In this case, it still maybe even look familiar to other vibe coding tools. And here I asked it to build an app to manage my AWS cloud assets, right? Did it just for you. And I can really write it in English. I can write a longer prompt. And we have our own AI here that reads it, turns it into a product requirement and design requirement, and writes code. And if I'll jump, because I built one 5 minutes ago, it created a full app, and with AWS logos, and I can see the list of assets, and I can change the statuses, and the whole data, instead of a database somewhere, is actually a Monday.com board that can be edited, that can be modified, that has its own permissions, and you can open it inside Monday.com. It means that every time that you have a permission layer that we already built, or if you have existing data, if you have admin control, everything in Monday, you can see it actually lives inside of Monday. And basically, like this is a very specific use case, but here I'll show you, like, this is something that people are doing in Monday.com all the time. For example, they have a marketing asset approval process, and each one of those, it's a designer is creating an asset, and someone need to approve it, and you can find issues, and we have this great table that you can do a lot of things with, but it doesn't really fit to what I want to do here. It's not that easy. And in Monday, we have tons of ways to visualize your data, right? We have charts and calendars and Kanban, but it doesn't matter how many options we are going to build with regular development cycle. People will always need something else. Like, this is a too long list, and it's also not what everyone wants. So now you can build it with Vibe. So if, for example, I want to see the same data exactly without changing anything new, but super visual, with a big button of approve or request revisions, right? And when I clicked, it changed my board. I can do it. Or just to give you last one, the same data exactly, but now we build it also that it's a mobile friendly. So people can open the same data now on the Monday mobile app, see it as an app, and maybe swipe right to approve and swipe left to give feedback, like the copy is wrong. So what I'm trying to say is that we took everything that people loved in Monday.com, right? The structure, the
The
permissions, our
context.
whole system, yeah, and we now allow you to visualize it in any way you want and build which kind of custom logic you want, and a really custom experience or multiple experiences using the same source of truth. So instead of 100 different applications of shadow IT that people can build in your organization, you have everything inside the system with full control and full visibility.
Yeah, and the AI era really changed it because no code platforms still had to go in, learn the no code platform, learn the rules, learn all the
Right.
controls, and now it's basically just tell it what to do. It already understands the context where you live in, your processes, how you work, and builds it around you. So it's just conversational, and that's amazing because it enabled so many users with no technical background at all that would still struggle with no code tools because there's still a learning phase there just to build something that just fits their use case. So yeah.
Amazing. What you built there looks great, and the fact that this can opens the door, right? Really democratizes the capability to users that are not traditional developers that don't understand the APIs and how to access Monday.com directly. Really opening the doors to those people is a whole new world, right? And it's a very different, but it's quite something that you've built. Now we talk about building it itself and our partnership between Monday.com and AWS. Monday Vibe is built, of course, on top of AWS, right? And specifically around Amazon Bedrock, or Amazon Bedrock is being used for that, along with other services like S3. What did that infrastructure really kind of unlock for your team that would have been much more difficult had you not had access to those services in AWS?
So Bedrock, first it's access to all the latest LLM models, and it's secure with permissions, so we can have different quotas and different permissions to our different services. So that's very easy to set up with IAMROL. So I can, as a manager, I can know that certain services in certain environments, for example, I can limit staging. So if someone introduces a bug, we don't overcharge or, for example, call the LLMs in a loop. I know where it will stop because we have quotas, right? So we can basically be protected and be safe there. Also, it enables us to plan our growth. So we know what our current throughput is. We know how much LLM tokens we consume right now. We can see what our quota is. We can know and predict how much it will grow, and we can always talk with you guys at AWS and plan our growth, and also split it between regions and basically monitor everything very easily. So Bedrock has been amazing in that manner. Also S3. So basically a lot of S3 is a simple storage service, right? But it's really a part of the backbone of Vibe because we generate apps, and those apps contain a lot of code configuration and a lot of metadata. And if you wanted to scale, we didn't want to store all this code in our databases, so we needed to find some way to partition it in the buckets and have it and everything tenant safe and scope and partition all the different aspects of the data that Vibe saves by account. So everything is very tenant safe, and no tenant can access data of someone else.
Interesting.
just
And
want
yeah, sorry, go ahead.
I just want to say, if we didn't have the AWS platform, you think we had to talk to OpenAI and Anthropic and Google, and every time we want a new model with another, to talk with them again and talk with other providers, and then our storage will be in somewhere else, all of the rest of our infrastructure in somewhere else, and
Yeah.
we wouldn't be able to run on the core logic, right? Eventually, we want to create an AI app builder. We don't want to become an infrastructure management product, right? We want, and having everything in one-stop shop that we can rely on, that has this availability, regionality, that we get everything out of the box, and we can focus on, okay, that's the business logic that we want to run as fast as possible, and every time that we need something new, we just enable it. So we really think that we wouldn't be able to do it if we had to do all of those connections or build everything ourselves or even source it from like all of the different providers that in AWS is basically a click away.
Amazing. And that even, I think, goes beyond just the AI aspects of what you built with Vibe, right? You also have the CDN aspects. I think that you're
Yeah.
currently using Amazon CloudFront, if that's correct, and also other Amazon capabilities like Amazon DynamoDB for database.
Mhm.
So, would you say that that extends, beyond just traditional AI with AWS, but also just your
Yeah, of
infrastructure in
course.
general?
So Monday.com is a partner with Amazon, so a lot of our internal infrastructure is on AWS. All our internal microservices there are there, so it was really easy for us to get started. So if we want to set up a new microservice, we are running on EKS. Everything is Kubernetes, so we can easily define our how we want to auto scale, how we want to manage our services, how to manage the ingress and everything. So just getting started to have a new service and deploying it, having it scale and across regions was easy. And if we had to do it from scratch, that would take a lot of time. Then the apps themselves. So I think unlike other SaaS products where you have like one main product or like a bunch of products that you deploy and maintain, maybe across regions, maybe not. Here we are building thousands of apps every day that need to be deployed multiple times a day, right? Because every edit, every prompt the user inputs is a new deployment. So that's a different kind of SaaS. So vibe coding gives us a new challenge. That's why we really rely on lambdas, because we need something that's super scalable, that has short no cold starts or short cold starts, and we can deploy thousands of them, and with different, like each instance is completely different because each app is different, right? So for the apps themselves, we rely on Lambda as the runtime and the CloudFront for the CDN to serve the front end, and it works remarkably well in our scale. So it's thousands and thousands of deployments every day for different apps. Yeah.
Amazing. Yes. And we, of course, at AWS very much value our partnership with Monday.com as well. We really feel that it is truly a better together story between our two organizations, and we love having you with us. Getting back into some of the challenges maybe that you faced, whether that's technical, cultural, organizational, how did Monday.com's culture of boldness, I think is how you put it, change how you tackled these various challenges?
Yeah, I'll start on maybe on the organizational side. We are basically now changing everything in the company, and we decided that we are going to go all in on AI, and it means that we started, like, the first thing we did was an AI month. It was even 2 months, and we took all of the teams in Monday and we told them, forget your roadmap, like, don't build what you should have done. Let's reopen it and ask ourselves, can we build it differently now using AI? Let me tell you, we had like we have like dozens of people working on new dashboard widgets and abilities, and we basically asked ourselves, okay, should we build it? Like, if anyone can write whichever a dashboard that they want, and we write the code directly into the product, do we really need so many people building new and more exotic type of widgets, right? And that's only one
Right.
thing. Okay, we had a search team. Okay, but now if people are using free search and you have different RAG technologies, do we really need to invest in the old search team? We had a scale team. We have an API team that built an API that was fitting for one type of machine, but now maybe it should be a lot more semantic. So every MCP and every agent will be able to talk to Monday and not translate it, but actually get what they want, right? So we basically took every team and every department and we asked ourselves, okay, what is the most important thing that you wanted to build, what was too complicated, that it would take too much time, and how do you do it? It was even on the infra side, right? We have a team that everything they did was thinking, how do we break up the monolith into microservices, right? And they basically build an agent that goes over the code overnight, find places when you can maybe even automatically edit the code and send in the morning a PR to the team. So we are taking it from the customer experience to the whole infra and asking, okay, we don't want to do things the way that we did it yesterday, just because we're on inertia. And I'm saying that as if it's easy. What's the hardest thing ever? And
Yes.
it was hard because some of it, it's our management literally took us and told us, okay, you have our backs. Like, it's if you need now a month in order to learn how to, for example, code using AI agents instead of manually, and it means that your productivity is going to be lower in the next month or two until you get it right, it's okay. If two teams will build two different, we have like three different types of agents, three different infras, because we didn't know how to do it. It's not like traditional
Right.
SaaS when you basically do a copy paste from something that is already there. So we said it's okay that we will rebuild the same theme 3 times, and we'll kill two of them later if we need to, or merge them, or do anything else, right? Because the price of building something new is a lot lower. The price of migration is lower, and the problem of not going fast enough is not there. So I would say we needed to, it couldn't be only bottom up. We really need to have our leadership allowing us and telling us and saying that it's okay and giving us the backing for us to make this change. And Vibe is basically our own corner of the product. We do a tremendous change. It's one of the most successful products ever. But we had 3,000 people that we need all of them to make this transition. And we're still there, right? It's still ongoing.
You
Every
know,
month we have a new thing.
I mean, it's amazing for organizations such as yourselves, Monday.com, that has really embraced AI and the capabilities that exist there. How much of an impact that can have organizationally if it's taken to the extent that you're currently taking it, going all the way back to the drawing board and really asking those questions. Should we really be doing what we were doing yesterday in this new world? And is there a better way to do that, or to be more customer focused and allow your customers to really do this on their own behalf versus you having to do it? It's remarkable how much change has happened and how fast it's happened as well. And of course, like you said, the results really kind of speak for themselves, especially with the tooling that you've done with Monday Vibe. So along with that, then what are the outcomes that you've seen with this? I've seen $1 million in ARR in 10 weeks, which is absolutely remarkable. So what does 17,000 apps during this gradual rollout, as well as a part of this, kind of tell you about the product market fit? What is this scale that you're seeing? What are these outcomes that you're looking at?
Yeah. So I can tell you that in terms of number of apps, we're way past 500,000 at this stage.
Wow.
I can't tell you the numbers of ARR until it will be public, but I can tell you that in Q1, 10% of new ARR in Monday came from AI products. And I can tell you that generally we changed our internal metrics, and we changed the pricing of the product. Because we used to be SaaS in general, and Monday, we used to be a seat-based product, right? Every time that you add a new person to your organization, you buy a seat, they use the product, and then Monday and the organization is growing together. But when we look at the future and we're saying, okay, now the same team can do 10 times the work, right? It's not correlated to the number of people. Even if the organization is going to grow, the amount of value that we can do by building product, building software, custom software for every problem that you have, or an agent actually solving tickets, or calling customers, or closing, or creating PRs for you. All of those, there are a lot more. So basically, we changed it, and now we're on a hybrid model. When for Monday you pay for seats and credits. Okay, you cannot, like, if you open now the Monday website, there's no option to use only seats in Monday. Everything comes with credits. Because we want it to be, we want the value to be reflected in what you do, right? So we want that every time that we close a ticket for you, because an agent read the documentation, read the user, read the history, read your CRM, and then gave them the exact response, and then closed it. Okay, that's value, right? It doesn't matter how many people you need for that. Okay, every time
outcome-based pricing, right? Yeah.
Exactly. So sometimes, like with applications, for example, we for a long time we just allowed you to build as much as you want, and we said, okay, when you build, like we don't show you value yet. We especially like a year ago, the AI wasn't smart enough in order to actually build what you want. Now I showed you apps that they look incredible, A year ago, they didn't look like that. But we told you, look, build as much as you want, but once you are okay with this app and you want to share it and actually use it in your day-to-day with your team, okay, now you can pay us per published apps. Okay, it means that the app is actually valued. It means that you actually use it. And if you don't use it, unpublish it, publish something else, right? Because when we think about those pricing, we want to think about the value and the business outcome and not how many people use it, because that's not the value metric anymore. And to be honest, if we could have done it in the past to connect to what we actually do for you and not only your seats, we could have. And now with AI, the more we do for you, it's easier for us to even to use AI to understand, okay, we closed this ticket successfully. Okay, it wasn't just a blob of words. Okay, so that's the way that and that changes everything, right? If this is our pricing, and this is what our investors are looking at, and our CEO is looking at, and every product team and every development team. So now we'll stop asking, okay, how can we allow you to invite another user to another tool? We are asking, okay, for the same person, what else are you doing with your day that we can do for you, right? Okay, what are you doing with your email, with your messaging, with your customers, with your calendar? Like, let's connect to that. Let's see what we can do for you. And then the more value we bring you, we think it will be also a win-win on the business side. So that's how we shift it. We look at the outcome. Okay, what are we measuring? And it really shifts all of the incentives inside the company to go there.
Makes a lot of sense. And I think we see a lot of partners like yourselves moving in this direction as well. It's so much better for the consumer too, rather than trying to just think in context of tokens, right? Right now everything's about tokens and token cost, but that outcome of actual value to the customer is so much easier for someone to internalize and then actually say, okay, yeah, I'm willing to pay money for that, right? So I'm glad to see that you're embracing that as well. So maybe here's the elephant in the room, right? And this is a narrative that we heard quite a bit as the entire artificial intelligence boom has been happening, and that is this concept of SaaS being dead, right? That AI agents are going to ultimately replace all traditional software products. But in a way, I think Monday.com's vibe really flips that story, right? AI didn't kill your software as a service solution. It kind of supercharged it in a way. So how do you think about the SaaS business model in this agentic era? What does it kind of mean for maybe this value pricing that you were talking about and how you're packaging Vibe?
I'll tell you that the way that we see it, there are some things that AI does great, okay? And it's the flexibility, it's the experience, the UI, the buttons, the logic, right? Those are the things that every customer in the world has something else. If we could have built 100 different flavors of Monday and sell it to 100 different sectors, it will be great, and it won't be enough because there will be 100,000 others. So we do want to capture
that personalized, customized UX for every individual, right? Yeah.
Exactly. But there are some things that we don't want AI to touch, right? We don't want it to touch your permissions. We don't want it to be able to access data. You don't allow it. We don't want it to fall in the middle of the night because the infra is not something that Yoni built on AWS and it tested, and there's someone 24 hours there to make sure it works. Like, if you put that on AI, then you don't know what will happen, because AI is not a person, not in the terms of intelligence. It's in the term of ownership, in the term of, okay, who is responsible for it? Who can assure you that it works? Who made everything 100% work, not 10% work? And I think, and Yoni can share like exactly how we build it like that. But on the product side, we basically tell you, look, you can take all of the good side of vibe coding, all of the flexibility we talked about, and none of the bad side of vibe coding. Okay, your IT can see every app built in the organization. You cannot share data outside unless you explicitly assured it. AI cannot touch anything related to infra, to permissions, to anything that can break your business or put you. And when you go to a bank, to a hospital, okay, to an insurance company, they can't have like 80% work. Okay, they must have it. Sometimes regulatory, sometimes just that's the responsibility, and that's what they need to do. And this is what Vibe does. It allows the most enterprise and secured and sensitive areas of your business use AI in a way that won't expose your data, but still give you this 100% flexibility.
Yeah, amazing. It makes a lot of sense, and I'm right there with you. I never kind of fell into the whole SaaS is dead sort of thing. It's changing, right? I think that's
It's changing.
definitely the truth.
I also think on a deeper level that like building products and SaaS, it's a profession. There are developers and there are product people and there are designers, and even if you have the most amazing agent that can build everything, you would still wouldn't know exactly what you as a customer need, and the customers themselves don't always know how to explain what they need. That's a lot of what we do at Vibe to make it easy for customers without the technical background, without product experience, to able to build solutions for them, right? But not every user knows what it actually needs and what would be the best solution for him. So
Sure.
it's a profession, right?
Right.
And people get experience building products. So I don't think in that term SaaS can disappear, because people don't always know what they want, right? Or what they need.
Right. That's very true. Well, this conversation has been fascinating, gentlemen. One last thing that I would like to ask before we get to closing here, and that is, what advice would you give product teams kind of looking to build AI native products on AWS, and maybe what's next coming for Monday Vibe?
I'll let Yoni start, I think, with the technical side, because we had a lot of iterations of this product.
Yeah, so on the technical side, I think what AI changed the pace of iterations. If we used to think in terms of sprints and tasks, I think now the focus is less on the execution but more on the planning. So every feature or every new product you think of, you really need to don't, because it's really easy to rush with the AI agents and just implement something. But the most important thing is understand the requirements, understand how you're going to scale, understand how many users you need to serve, understand how you keep everything secure, and really put most of the effort into the planning and into the architecture, into the design, and review it. And now it's very easy to get reviews from agents, and they're very compliant in saying everything is perfect, your design is the most amazing thing. But and that's something that we are losing. And so review it with other teammates, get more opinions, and so focus on the planning, then implementation is today is the easy part, right? That's from my side.
Awesome.
I'll say from the product side, especially if we look forward, there are two things that we're looking at. First of all, in Monday we have a portfolio of AI products. Right? We have our own Copilot, we call it Sidekick. We have Monday agents. We have AI note taker that joins the team. We have Vibe. We have a couple more that we are still building, and we are trying now to connect them and give you the full experience, right? Instead of you purchasing 5 different softwares of AI solutions, you can, for example, go into Vibe and tell it, okay, I have an AI note taker. Can you read the data from there and visualize my calls in a way that I can find my data now, or build a search bar that just goes over all my call and read them, right? Or talk to an agent using a UI that you built yourself. Okay, so we are first of all working on connecting all of them. A lot of it is already working, but we want to package it or guide users to do it, or just offer you, here are 3 of them that works together in a seamless way, in a way that you can really take any type of AI revolution and connect it. And on the second thing, AI did revolutionize the UI, basically, or user experience. Right? Every button can now move. You can change, you can visualize however you want. And now we're starting to look at other places that are maybe using traditional structure that we can just replace. So, for example, Monday is running about 1 billion automation runs a month, something like crazy numbers. And our automations are basically, they were like our boards. It's a drag and drop, right? You have a trigger and then a condition and action. If a status changes, send me an email. But basically, we're looking at that and saying, okay, we can write that too. Why not just tell me in your own words what you want, and we can write code. And it means today, it doesn't matter how many automation blocks we are going to build. you will always have something that you have your own idea. Okay, we have how do you
Yes.
compare to customers? I don't know. You have your own logic. Just write it in English, or
Absolutely. Yeah.
and we will write code. Maybe visualize it as a tree or anything. We can visualize. You want it as a sentence. You want it as a logic tree. You want it to visualize an automation, just to understand how different automation works together. Like we can combine now the ability to vibe code logic, the underlying logic, and combine code the UI, and take it to another dimension. So basically, we're looking at more and more places where SaaS, traditional SaaS, use or structured code or drag and drop, and trying to make the vibe revolution there too. And again, keeping all of the permission and structure and stability that we already have in our enterprise-grade infrastructure, but giving you the exact flexibility on the place that is hardest to build for everyone, but you want full control. So we really think that that's really endless where we can go from here.
Absolutely fascinating. Thank you so much for our conversation here today. Hopefully our audience got a lot out of that as well. Amichay and Yoni, thank you for being here with us. If what Amichay and Yoni just walked through sparked something for you, go out and try it for yourself. Scan the first QR code here to jump over to monday.vibe, or you could jump to developer.monday.com if you want to learn more about building on Monday's platform. And if you really want to have a front row seat to where all of this is going, make sure and follow Amichay on LinkedIn. He shares his AI experiments that he's doing out in the open publicly as he's going through and building them. So the code's on the screen now, and we'll make sure and put the links to these inside of the description below. Well, that's going to be a wrap on this episode of Building Agentic SaaS on AWS. Again, a huge thanks to Amichay and Yoni from Monday.com for showing us how what was ultimately a 5-minute demo became their fastest growing product ever, and how they're building it on top of AWS. If you got something out of this today, please do us a favor. Make sure and like the video, subscribe, hit the notification bell so that you catch when our next one comes out. And remember that the entire back catalog of building SaaS on AWS is right here on our channel as well. If you want to go deeper into those more SaaS-specific issues around multi-tenancy, isolation, control planes, and such. To all my builders out there, until we speak again soon, happy building.